Evening, everybody. I am a raging papist. Thanks for joining me. I want to tell you to commit, to fight, to keep moving forward, because I've just seen so much cuckery as of late that it's very disheartening. Everyone has their own pet issue, their own pet project, their own piece of the pie that just allows them to not care, right? Because I have this viewpoint, well, I don't have to care about anything else. And I've seen people do this time and time again. The worst is when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to politics. It's the whole notion that because I don't see the use or the benefit, or it's not perfect, I'm not going to support it. So you could relate this to Trump. You could relate this to the church. I don't need to take an active role in the church because I don't like the Pope. Whatever. So I will sit on the sidelines and wait for him to die so things can go more my way, more traditionally. And I'm sick of it. If you don't know good theology, then shut up. Do not argue theology if you don't understand it, because you're only hurting yourself and a good theology, because people are watching your actions. I see so many black-pilled people that they don't want to fight. They'll just say, it's dead already. Uh, Western culture is so degenerate, I can't support it. My ideological purity. And it's like, look, you claim that you know what is for the good, right? You claim that you love Christianity. You claim that you love the white race. You claim that you love all these, your nation, whatever, if you're some type of base civic nationalist, and yet you don't fight. You sit there. You find excuses and reasons not to get along. And I'm sick of it. One of these things that really, really pissed me off is, does everybody remember the Milo Yiannopoulos event? I'm sure you do. He was a hot commodity. The alt-white and the white nationalists, the NatSoc, all those people, they didn't like him. Although he mentioned, he brought up the Jewish question, he was not hip to the white race stuff. The Christians don't like him because he's a sodomite. Uh, it's and so because of that, they will happily toss away any good thing that he did because he's not pure. He's not pure. Donald Trump is not pure. Donald Trump's a power hungry. Uh, he definitely has an ego. Is he egomaniacal? I don't know. He puts his name on a lot of buildings. He builds a lot of shit for himself. But he's what we have. The degenerates are what we have. And when people start attacking, you know, when we start attacking ourselves because you're not getting your ideological spin on something, you're destroying what future you have. These are people who would attack, they would attack the vehicle. They would attack the person. And that's, you're not thinking of what goes in the vehicle. It's when people in the white nationalists, the far right, the NatSoc crowd, when they attack the alt west, the civic nationalists, who I'm not a fan of really. But when you attack these people and saying you're not hip to the Jewish question, why are you not going on about the Jewish question? Why are you not talking about the purity of the white race? When you're talking about all this stuff, you are destroying the messenger. You're destroying your own cause, because you know what? That demonstrates that you're not thinking of what goes inside that white skin. That demonstrates that you're not giving a shit about white culture and safeguarding the white race, because that's your only thing. It's like when zealous Protestants just constantly chastise Western culture and say, I don't want to fight for the West. I don't want to support the West. It's a degenerate culture. It's lost. It's turned away from God. And say, okay, well, you realize that without that white race, without the West, all of your beliefs in Christianity, they're gone. Do you think Africa is going to pick up the slack? Going to mass convert? And the Orientals will take up the mantle? I don't think so. You're not considering the picture. And that's the thing. You're not committing to the fight. So commit yourself to the cause. Who is the target? Is the left. Fight the left. The left is anti-Christian. The left is anti-Western. The left is anti-white. It is anti-family. It is anti-human. It is anti-person. It is anti-liberty. It is. I'm at the point where I am literally convinced that that the demon, the devil himself, at least has some hand in the machinations of the left. I'm at that point. I mean, truly. Do you realize that Hillary Clinton, during I believe it was the second debate, literally said in front of the world that she favors abortion up until the moment of birth? Do you realize that? And you don't want to fight that. You'd rather chastise Trump because it's easy. He's in power. Thank God he's in power, and we ditched Hillary. Like this is the commitment that I'm talking about. And the right doesn't unify. The right never does this. Christians never do this. Whites never do this. It's just NatSoc or nothing. Jewish question or nothing. White nationalism or nothing. You're either all you want to do is destroy sexual deviancy and degeneracy, and nothing else matters. Get off your fucking issue. I don't know how you want to secure a place for white people and safeguard white children if you don't care about their spirituality or their culture. I don't know how many times I have to say it. If that's your only issue, then the white race is dead. The reason Europe has fallen apart, the reason it's all going to shit, is you have turned your back on your ancestors, you have turned your back, and you have turned your back on your people, on what you do. So white birth rates is one facet of the problem. If you don't care about the spiritual side, here's what's going to happen. If you're a proud secularist, you want secularism, separation of church and state. Oh, it's so wonderful. Yes, yes. It led to a lot of scientific progress. It led to a lot of cultural variances. Those are all wonderful things for the West. But here's what's going to happen. The Muslim invaders, who are not atheists, who have a strong spirituality, will take your children and they will convert them. And your children will do it willingly. Do you know why they'll do it willingly? Because they have the balls to stand up for something. It's not atheism. It's not secularism. It's not, I care about my white skin. No, they care about Arabs, they care about their culture, and they fight for their God. What do you have? You have your skin. So I'm a raging papist, but there is more to fighting for Christianity than just sexual deviancy. Do I like the sodomy that Milo does? Absolutely not. Do I believe in gay marriage? Absolutely not. Is the sky blue? Yes, it is. If Milo or some sodomite says 2 + 2 is 4, I'll say yes, that's correct. Yes, Western culture is the best. Yes, you can't have the West without white people. Yes, we have to get our birth rates intact. Yes, we need to restore Christianity in the West. And by the way, that will mean undoing your gay marriage. But if that's okay with you, if you can recognize the sexual deviancy, the degeneracy that you bring, and you still want to fight on all the other fronts, then I don't care. I'm serious. I'm committed. I'm committed to fighting the left. I'm committed to safeguarding the West. I'm committed to seeing the church restored to its proper place, a proper hierarchy among our people. And so many just don't get that because it's so easy to not give a shit. It's so easy. I don't like Milo. I'm done. I don't like this cucked, churchianity. I don't like cucked churchianity either. But if the base civic nationalists, if that's the Christianity they know, it's a start. The alt-right is inevitable. It's inevitable because it's based on truth. It's based on God. It's based on reason. It's based on all these things together. So just do it. I know it's inevitable, and I know that so many of these people, they will eventually come to our way of thinking because they're not going to have a choice. You can keep arguing about your classical liberalism and all that stuff, but the left is going to reject you. The left is of this world. So you will either bend the knee to the left or you will find your place in the right. And if you're a moderate, then get off the fucking fence. Nobody has any use for you. If you're the Christian that just says, sodomites are okay, I don't want to be against gay marriage, I'm for civil unions, these things are okay in the end, none of this really matters. Well, A, you're not Christian, and B, nobody has any use for you. Do you realize that the left hates your position? The left hates your Christianity. They want to see it destroyed. You cannot make friends with them. So you would have to turn to the right. However, because of your moderation, because you said you don't stand for the right, now the right has no use for you. You're of no use to anybody, and nobody can trust you. Why should a rightist go out on a limb for a moderate when the moderate might turn around and say, oh, well, I'm not one of them. Oh, I'm not one of them. See, I'm going to virtue signal down here to my nice, neutral nothingness. So commit. What do you believe? You're either with something or you're against something. You cannot be an atheist and a theist. You cannot be a white nationalist or a multiculturalist. That's what so many in the civic nationalism movement don't understand. They want to have a white nation, but don't want to actually preserve white people. All these inherent contradictions are maddening to me, just maddening to me, and it never ends. So do something for yourself. I mean, commit. I have ditched so many of my leftist friends, and I feel so good for it. I have gotten off the middle ground. I've gotten out of there, and it feels wonderful because I have God on my side. I have truth on my side. I know what I stand for. I know what I want, and it provides so much clarity. So if you don't understand the nuances of politics, then stop arguing politics. If you don't understand basic theology, then stop arguing theology. You're just hurting yourself and the movement, whatever you want to consider the movement, whether it's the alt-right or the new right or whatever the hell it is. I don't care. I want to see a united people. That's, basic level stuff here. Basic shit. So put aside the grievances. Because if the civic nationalist is okay with the sodomites, is he wrong? Yeah, he is. You know what he also wants to do? He also wants to fight the left. So we can have that discussion about, okay, now that we've won, now that we've actually safeguarded a place for ourselves and our white children, now we can discuss what goes into that. Okay, should we repeal the same-sex marriage laws? Sure, I'm for that. Other people are not going to be for that. Now we can discuss. Now we can debate. Now we can war about that, if that's what it comes to. But for now, commit. Do your job. Because the left is destroyed. By any measure, the left in the United States is dead. They can't hold a referendum. They can't elect anybody. All these polls that oh, Donald Trump, 30% approval. Bullshit. Bullshit. These are the same people that said Hillary wins 95%. So they are out to get you. See, the left commits. They always commit, and we never commit. So just do your job. I don't know what else to say here. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.